Hi everyone, my name is Ashley and I am going to be sharing my budget with you. I'm really excited to be able to share all this information. This is actually my very first video, and like I said, I'm excited to be able to start my YouTube journey, but I am really into finance and budgeting, and so I wanted to share a little bit of what my budget is. What you see here on the screen is the app called YNAB, also known as YNAB. I have been using YNAB for a little under a year, so right around September of 2021, and I have absolutely loved it. I didn't always start off with YNAB. I've done different budgeting techniques. I've done the cash envelopes. I've done the budget by paycheck method with the Budget Mom. And then now I'm doing YNAB. And so I'm just going to go ahead and share a little bit of a budget breakdown with all of you guys, just so you guys can see how my budget is set up and what I'm currently budgeting for. Of course, this changes from time to time as needed. And that's the one great thing about budgeting, is that it is flexible and it really can be about what is happening in your life. Some of these categories are pretty brand new. I just added them in a couple months ago, and like I said, that's the really great thing, and I can take them out. So just to kind of get started and not to ramble, here are all of my budgeting categories. I have everything into bigger groups, and then into each group is like sub divisions. So I have all these names here. I believe I have 21 category groups, and so we'll just be going through each of them one by one. So the first thing is I have my bank accounts. So these are actual categories with what is actually showing in my bank. So in there I have my main checking and my personal savings. So my main checking is really what my debit card comes out of. I have $113.36 available. This is not actually reflecting what is actually in my main checking account. I actually have more than this, but this is what I have set aside in my budget to be able to use. Really what comes out of here is just any small debit transactions. For example, like I play a game called Candy Crush, which I'm sure many people are familiar with, and sometimes I buy some of the like additional lives and stuff like that, and so stuff like that will come out of here. So pretty small purchases. Next, I have my personal savings. Right now I have $159.59. I did have more. I had 1,000, but I ended up using that for something else. But this is currently what I have. This personal savings is not really truly a savings account. It's not that I actually store my saving money there. I just kept $1,000 threshold. I've kind of wanted to close the account, but I don't want to because I do have some random income, very sporadic, throughout like once a year type of income that comes into this account, and so I just never closed it. Next, I have, if I can close it, are my credit cards. So I have 2 credit cards. I have American Express and a Discover card. So credit cards work a little differently on YNAB. So basically, $2,383.53. That is not necessarily like what I have. This is actually what is the balance on my card. I have, technically it would be negative $2,000, $383.53. The reason why it's green and it's showing up here, YNAB does credit cards a little differently, is as you spend your money, let's say I have $50 in my food account that I set aside here on my budget, and let's say I swipe my credit card and I spend $50. So right now that means I owe $50. What YNAB does is moves the $50 from that eating out category and puts it into like a little, I guess, I don't know, like a little bucket, and basically I'm able to fully pay off my credit card. So basically YNAB helps you get out of debt, doesn't let you go into debt, because basically it just takes the money out of your budget and puts it into your credit card holding, so that way you can pay it off in full. So these are my negatives, but that's mean I'm able to pay off. I'm in green, so that's mean I'm able to pay off my credit cards in full. Yeah, This is a lot. I don't think I've ever spent this much money on my credit card in almost close to like 2 to 3 years. I had a very unexpected expense here where I actually had to pay for my phone. My phone broke and I had to buy a new one. And yes, you could do the month to month, but I hate doing month to month if I don't absolutely have to, so I just paid for it out in full. So this is why this is pretty big. Next, I have my debt, saving, and investment. So I have my emergency savings. So this is how much I have for my emergency savings, $10,041.74. I feel pretty comfortable there. That's how I've always wanted my emergency savings to be, is at about $10,000. I've currently stopped contributing to my emergency savings so that way I can contribute more towards my student loans. And like I said, this was a number that I felt pretty comfortable at. It was $10,000. The $41.74 is what I'm getting from interest. I have a high yield savings, high yield interest savings emergency savings account through Discover, and so I'm making a little bit of money. Next is my student loans. So right now student loans are in forbearance, which is awesome, and they just got extended to restart on August 31st. And so what I've been doing, instead of paying money to my student loans, I've basically just been saving the money that I normally would be paying. Right now I'm saving $1,000. That is not what my monthly payment is. Approximately my monthly payment's about $299, but I was able to stop contributing to different goals and cut back on certain things, and so I was able to spend $1,000, send $1,000 to my loans, which is really exciting. So right now I have about $10,953.78 saved up. It's been really nice. Usually any extra little money, whether it's like $1 or if it's like $15, gets sent to my student loans. So far I've been able to send $93.78 extra to my student loans, which is great. Next is my Chase investments, Robinhood, and other investments. Currently I have $0. I did have $150. I do about $150 every month to my investments through Chase. So Chase has an option where you can do investing. I do the robo-advisor, so I basically have a robot investing for me based off of the questions that I answered about like how long do I want to invest, what are my goals for investing, etc., etc. So I sent $150. This was taken out on the 10th, so that's why I have $0. Here it says change to $135 in June. So in June, I'm going to bring this down a little bit so that way I can start investing back in Robinhood. Right now, Robinhood is $0. That was one of the categories I cut so that way I could send more money towards my student loans. Other investments, $0. If I have any other investments outside of Robinhood or Chase investments that I wanted to invest in, that would be there. Next are my annual expenses, so my once a year expenses. My Google storage, $19.99. This was something I just recently did. I needed to extend my Google Drive and my Gmail. I love using Google Drive. It's where I store everything, any documents, anything I have, and so I decided to upgrade it. I believe it was to 1 terabyte, and so that's $19.99, and that is due on January 18th of every year. Next is my Best Buy insurance, which is $218.39, and so this is great for any computers that I buy at Best Buy or just anything electronics that I buy at Best Buy. I have them covered under the insurance. This is every year. Once again, they do have per months on these, but honestly, you save a lot more money. Even though it's a bigger cost up front, you save a lot more money when you buy the yearly versus paying per month. Next, I also have YNAB. YNAB is not a free service, and many people are like, why would you pay money for a budgeting app? But honestly, I think it's extremely worth it. I have saved and been able to put more towards different goals because of YNAB, so paying $108.99 a year is absolutely worth it to me. There is a per month option. Once again, I personally always feel it's just better to pay for it up front, and you don't have to pay for it for a whole year, and you can take as long as you want to be able to save up to it. Next category is spiritual and giving. So I'm a Christian and I believe in giving tithes, and so right now I believe in giving 10%. I have $520. So this used to be a holding category. I used to have like money stockpiled in this. This year I really made I wanted to make it more intentional about giving. especially giving to church. And so I had some money kind of stored up in here, and I told myself I wasn't going to continue contributing until I finished out this category. So there was more, and I've been using it. I already paid my tithes for the month of May. So I pay mine once a month, and I just do 10% of my actual income. So I have $520 left. I also have donations and giving. I don't actually actively put money into this category. It's just kind of whenever maybe this donations and giving, as in donating to different charities or maybe giving to a homeless person. Like I said, I don't actively contribute, but if I find something, I usually just cash flow it, as many say. So basically, if I have the money for it, I'll just give it and then I'll reimburse, quote unquote, reimburse myself when I get paid. Bills. So people are probably looking at this and being like, oh my gosh, you have no bills. I do. I have other bills, but I basically split them up into different categories. I felt that they were better useful there. These are just some of the bills that I didn't really know where to put them, so they just fell under the bills category. I have my Spotify, which is $10.89, Hulu, $12.99, Netflix, $16.89, and Sprint, which is my phone bill, which is $68. Like I said, I just bought a new phone. Of course, I probably could have added to my monthly bill, but I like $68 a month. I don't want to pay $100 or $150 or whatever per month for a new phone. So I just paid it for it out front. So anyways, there is no money in here. They have the little check marks with zero because all of these bills have already passed. So there was money in there, and now there isn't. So next up is my joy. So this category is kind of new for me. I just wanted to put things in here that brought me joy or just helped, I guess, elevate my life in the way that I felt like things did. And so I really enjoy, this is probably where bulk of my spending comes from, is from this category here. So the first one, this is a bill that I have, but like I said, I put it under my joy. It's called Move Studio. It's a dance studio here in my town, and I absolutely love it. Not only is it good for like obviously like physical and health wellness, of course, like for my actual wellness in those aspects, but it's also really good just for like mentally, emotionally. I love going there. It's such a good uplifting place, and it just makes me really happy. So that's why I put it under my joy, even though it is one of my bills that I have. This is a good example of something that changed out of my bills. So this is $130.50. Many people might say, oh my gosh, it's a lot for dancing every single month, but it is unlimited dance classes, and it's a lot cheaper than the class passes. So it's unlimited dance classes for $130.50. I also have spending money, so I give myself spending money in cash. Yes, I do have spending money. I spend money, of course, but I always am really I always feel like you should just carry a little bit of something in cash, so I give myself $40 every single month just to carry in cash. I don't track it. I can spend it as I please. If I want to save it, cool. If I don't, well. Leo season, so this is for my birthday. I decided this year that I was, like this year for 2022, that I'm actually going to set aside money for my birthday. So I set aside $550. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. I haven't decided, so it's just kind of there. I just recently added $50. I think I'm going to get my eyes microbladed, my eyebrows microbladed, so I have very thin and sparse eyebrows, and I fill them in every single day, and I buy pencils and all kinds of stuff like that, and so I'm looking into that option, not really sure. Next, I have Joy Holding. So this currently right now holds $254.28, but every single month I give myself $550. So what I used to do before I had this Joy Holding, I have my fun money, my eating out, self-care, sushi, and booze. This all technically falls under this Joy Holding. So I used to give myself like a set budget every single month for these categories. Let's say like for fun money, I used to give myself like $25, or eating out was $100 or something like that. But I noticed like every month that fluctuated a lot. There were some months that I ate out more than others, and then there was months where I like did a lot of fun stuff than others. And so like there were some months where I just like really went over budget because I did something more, and then one month where I just didn't spend any money at all. And so it was really frustrating trying to like, these were categories where I said like, okay, if I overspent or underspent, I can take whatever's left over and add it to other categories. But it was really getting hard and just tedious to track. And so what I've decided to do, I basically counted last year. I basically took the average of how much I spent per month in these categories, and that it was equivalent to about $500. And so what I've decided to do is I just put a big holding of 500, but I put 550 just in case I spend a little over. And basically, as I spend, I just cover it with this account. So this month, so far I spent $14 on fun so far for the month, and last month I probably spent way more than that. So like I said, it just fluctuates. Eating out, spent $164. Self-care, so self-care would basically be anything for me. That means, like, for me, for self-care is like buying clothes, getting my nails done, or getting my hair done. So far I've only spent $36. I have a sushi category because I absolutely love sushi, and so $54.16 so far for the month. And then booze. And when I say booze, that means it could be buying drinks outside, as in like out, like with some friends and having a drink or something like that. Or buying booze could be like going to the store and just picking up a bottle of wine. So that's what that is. And so far this is what I've spent, and so this is what I have left over for the month, $254.28. I sometimes let some of this money roll over, and sometimes I don't. It just really depends, because I do want to try and stick to the $550 as close as I can. So yeah, so that's what that is. So that's all my joy. And like I said, all these things bring me happiness. Fun money, eating out, self-care, all that stuff brings me happiness. So all things car. So basically anything related to my car. So this is one of my other bills, but I put it in my car. This is my car insurance, which is $155. There's nothing in there because it just came out. It comes out on the 23rd, but I have it come out sometimes, depending on what it is. I have it send on the 22nd, just so that way I'm on time. But anyways, $155. A lot of people might be like, oh my gosh, that's super, super cheap. Well, so my dad still pays for my car insurance, but this is my half of the car insurance. Since it's in his name, he just pays for it every single month. And basically, I just divided this by 3 because he pays for my car, obviously his car, my brother's car, so I just divided that payment by 3, and that's what I sent him. So I sent him $155 for my portion of my car insurance. Gas. Right now I have $77.75, and so I originally had, I think I originally had way more than that. It's like 200 or something, but anyways, gas is very, very, very expensive, and so I usually only had one just car catch-all category, but with gas being so expensive, I wanted to separate it out so I can track to see how much I'm actually spending on gas. And so anyways, this is how much I have left over for the month. This will actually go down because I just got gas, but the transaction hasn't gone through to take out the money out of my category. Then I have $25 for maintenance and miscellaneous expenses for my car, so that, like I said, just as it says maintenance, miscellaneous expenses could be like car washes or parking tickets or anything like that. So $75 for the month. Home. So as you can probably see, so far you haven't seen like a rent category. I am very lucky that I live at home right now. I moved in back home about a year ago after I moved back down here for a job, and so I don't have any rent, which is really, really nice. But so far these are just my home categories. Groceries and household expenses. So I don't really have to pay for groceries. My parents do cover groceries for the most part, but I have a grocery / household exist in case there's something in particular that I particularly want. Let's say they didn't get it or whatever, or we ran out early. This is just my little category for me to just buy any of those additional things. Household expenses for me is basically like lotion or body wash or razors or just any products that I may need that are pretty frequent. So I have $100 in there so far. And then laundry. So we have a washer and dryer in our place, but our washer is broken, so we have been having to do laundry at like a laundry place at a laundromat, and I am a little bougie and don't want to do the coin machines, and honestly those coin machines are very, very expensive. We did laundry the last time, and the machines are from $5 to like $10 per load. And that's washing, so imagine how much that is drying. And so I'm like, no, I'd rather just do the wash and fold. So basically, the wash and fold is you drop off your laundry at a laundromat. If some locations have them, some don't. And there's a person that basically does the laundry for you. It is a little expensive. I don't do it very often, but they do it per pound. And this is a cost, like I said, I don't really put money in until we're getting close to about to do laundry. And I have done, me and my parents take turns, and I basically do it for the family of 4. So it can get a little expensive, but hey, it is what it is. Health and wellness. So many people are like, why don't you put your dance category in your health and wellness? And I'm like, yeah, but I did have it and I didn't like it. I just gave people my joy. But health and wellness, I have my health insurance here, $100. Most people are like, oh my gosh, that's super cheap. There's nothing in there because it already came out. But same thing, we have a family health insurance plan that my dad pays for, and I just pay for my portion. So, $100. Chiropractor, so I pay $45 a month to going to a chiropractor. I don't really have any injuries or anything. I went because I did start it because I have some, like, a little bit of like neck stiffness, but that's kind of from the nature of my job that I do. A lot of my job just requires sitting at a desk. Majority of the time, so I started going to a chiropractor, $45 a month, and that will actually end in August. I'm in my maintenance phase, so I've gotta go for a full year, and so I'm almost done with that, so this will actually be leaving soon. Medical, so I have $405 right now, and my medical expense, although I'm paying $100, my portion at least, $100 a month for our insurance. Our insurance is very, very, very terrible. And so, which is very unfortunate because we pay a lot of money for our insurance, but like I said, I work in healthcare, okay, and I've worked in public health. I just hate our health insurance, like, thing going on, and I could talk about it all the time. I just feel like health insurance is honestly a scam, but sometimes you need it, so anyways, I'll get off that. But I have $405. This is actually going to go back down because I just paid one of my medical bills. Like I said, our health insurance sucks. I just went for like a preventative care just to set up like a primary care doctor. Like I said, I'm young. I don't thankfully have any health issues or anything like that. And so just going to establish care with a primary care doctor with my insurance cost me $250. So yay for that. Under more other types of insurances, usually that would be covered, but it is what it is, so that's about to come down. Other exercise classes have $0. This is if I ever want to try other exercise classes around my town, I can put some money there. And then Awakening Pole Fitness, I used to take a class at a pole fitness place, but they took away the class, so I don't have any money there. And whenever they decide to put the class back, then maybe I'll go back. Sirens NOLA. So this is the newest category that I added. So I am part of a dance group called the Sirens, which they have this Little Mermaid because their themes are like mermaids, and so these are all the costs associated with it. This is going to be my first year doing this, and so usually, of course, with first year, it's more expensive, but I already set aside my money for it because I was like, I want to be proactive. So these are the things that I'm possibly going to have to buy, plus my annual dues. My annual dues, I just paid them, so there's $0 in there, but I don't really know how much it's going to cost, but this was like the estimate they gave us, like about approximately how much it would cost. I put the high end for everything just because I know with me being my first year, I'm probably going to want the best of the best or try to may spend a little bit more money, so I have everything here. So really excited about that, to be part of this crew. Next up is my friend's wedding. She is getting married in Puerto Rico, and so I have money saved up for the flight and hotel and all of these other things that I may potentially need. I just kind of split them out, just kind of going through my head. Maybe there's some money that I need to spend. Her wedding's in June. Haven't bought my tickets yet, but I have the money saved up for it. Next is our family cruise. So we are going on a family cruise from August 7th to the 14th. Here's my cruise payment. So basically, with my family, my dad has me pay a portion of my portion of being on the cruise, also usually typically covering my brother since he's not working because he's in school, and I happily do it. You know, I understand it's expensive to go on a vacation with a family of 4, and you know, like I said, I'm old enough now where I can contribute. So this was the payment that I paid was $861.44 for our cruise, which in August, which I'm really excited, and we're also kind of doing this as like kind of like my birthday present. So my birthday's on the 18th, so this was really exciting. So we are excited to go on a cruise. Next, these are just all my vacations. I have a trip to Jamaica for my cousin's 30th birthday at the beginning of December. I've kind of started putting a little bit of money. I've total of $250 in this category. Like I said, this vacation's still kind of far out, and I do have other vacations and other obligations before that. So once these are kind of done, then I can start putting money towards this. But just to kind of start off, I have $125 in my flight and hotel. Next, Haiti. This is our family vacation, another family vacation. My parents are from Haiti, and so every year around Christmas / New Year's we go to Haiti, and so that trip's coming up. Once again, I haven't put anything towards it. It's towards the end of the trip. I'll probably just pay whatever small portion as my dad normally does with our vacations. We haven't booked anything, so I haven't had anything saved up. Next is family and friends. So I have these categories here. Diva, this is my dog. She's my sweet little baby. She's old. She's getting up there in age. She's 13 years old. I don't have anything saved up right now. She doesn't have any cost. Thankfully, we don't have anything going on for her, so there's nothing in there. But I definitely know the importance of putting money in those categories because she did have a surgery at the end of last year, early this year, and that was expensive. So I know definitely need to have some money there. Date night / anniversary for me and my boyfriend. If we ever decide to do anything or do any date night or anniversary gifts or anything like that, I'll put some money there. Our anniversary isn't until October, so we got plenty of time. Gifts and giving. So this is just for like holidays, weddings, birthdays, graduations, or anything like that for any people. So I don't have any money there, but I did spend $93.91. This was for birthday gifts and graduation gifts. So these are not categories I like actively put money in. Basically what I'll do, I'll just like upfront just spend it, and then I'll just cover it with when I get paid, basically. Family eating out. So this was for Mother's Day. I took my mom and my family and treated us all to a Mother's Day brunch, and it was delicious, so good. And then after that, we did ice cream as well. Bought some ice cream for myself and my mom. So that was really fun. Lawrence is my brother. If there's any money that he needs or I need to give him or whatever the case may be, that's the category there. And then Christmas. So I'm one of those people. I know Christmas is a really big holiday for some, especially those who have kids. Like I said, I don't have kids. And Christmas, at least in my family, is just not that big of a holiday. We don't really buy gifts or anything like that around Christmas time. It is for my boyfriend's family. So I kind of just set a little bit of a limit coming around close to Christmas. So usually about October or November, I start putting a little bit, like just kind of throwing a little bit of money there in that category and just spend as needed. So yeah, nothing there yet. Probably about 2 or 3 months closer to Christmas, then I'll start putting some money there. Work. So these are my work categories, and I wanted to keep this separate from like my normal stuff just because I do get reimbursed. So I have work expenses, so if there's any like gifts or donations or anything like that, like if I spend money for whatever reason, or if like we donate, sometimes we donate money to like maybe employees or something like that if something happens. And then also work reimbursements. I do get reimbursed for things that I buy at work, so I keep them separate. Dreams and goals. Eventually I do want to get a home and a new car. Home definitely first, more than the car. I love my car and I'll keep driving it until the wheels fall off, and so I don't plan on spending that soon, but my car is getting up there in age. It's next year will be 10-year-old car, so I know eventually I'll have to start putting money there. And then of course future home. I definitely want to buy a home soon, but I do have other goals that I want to do, like pay off my student loans or try to get my student loans down to a more manageable amount, so that way eventually I can start putting money towards my future home. Then I have a holdings category, so basically stuff I forgot to budget for. Basically this is just like a miscellaneous. Obviously, even though I have a wealth of categories, there are things that just come up that just aren't expected. So stuff I forgot to budget for, I have currently $60 right now. As you can see, I had way more. $1,400. Some of this was just for like I said, I unexpectedly had to buy a new phone, and so there was that cost plus buying the case plus all kinds of other stuff. So there's a lot spending in there. And then bills for the year. So basically I created this started off as a month ahead fund because I wanted to get a month ahead on all of my bills, but then slowly I was able to save a lot more, and by the grace of God, honestly, truly a blessing, I was able to, find some extra money, put some extra money, and I was able to pay off or have my bills covered for the entire year. And so for the entire year of 2022, all of my bills, which I showed earlier, are actually covered. Like I said, that was a huge accomplishment and has really, really helped me be able to save a lot of my money and be able to take all that money, like my actual paycheck money, and be able to put it towards goals because I don't have to put them to my bills. I don't know if I'll be able to do it for 2023. I hope I will. That is something that I definitely absolutely want to do again for 2023, but we'll have to see. If not, that's okay. Maybe 2024. It did take me a long, long time. It took me more than a year to get a year ahead. Like I said, this is one of those categories that I just had to kind of stockpile some money. Any extra money that I had was put into this category, and so, like I said, I think it took me about a year and a half or close to 2 years to be able to pay off my bills for a whole year. So, but it was absolutely worth it. So, like I said, maybe not for 2023, but maybe for the following year, 2024, maybe I'll be able to stockpile again and be able to pay off my bills for the entire year. Like I said, very helpful. Then last, I have my inactive categories, basically categories that I'm no longer using. And I definitely have like different trips and stuff. So with YNAB, you can actually like hide. If you right click, you can hide it. So this means it completely moves it out of your budget and puts it in this hidden category. But I don't really like that because it basically just, if you're trying to see like how much money you spent, it doesn't separate it. It just clashes it into one big category. And I didn't like that. And so I created my own little inactive, which is like my hidden category of things that I'm no longer using. And this is great because then I can see things broken down. So I had different trips. I had a trip to Fultondale, Alabama, which was really great. Me and my boyfriend went and we absolutely loved it. And this is great because I want to be able to track, maybe in a couple years we decide to go to Fultondale again, and I can see how much money I spent on that trip and kind of be able to be prepared. I have this Florida trip. I went to it in April with my boyfriend's family, and same thing. I can't really put it in the inactive category because it's already a whole category group in itself, but I have it down here. Same thing. That way I can look back at it and see, hey, this is how much I spent on this Florida trip. If I go again next time, I know approximately how much money I need to save. So yeah, all those will go down here. And so yeah, so basically that is my whole budget breakdown. Like I said, this app has been really, really great for me. I've really enjoyed it, and it has helped me tremendously accomplish all the different goals that I have, like I said. But yeah, so if you have any questions or anything like that, please leave a comment down below. But hopefully you like this video and will subscribe. This next videos will not be as long. This one was pretty long because I had to just kind of go through every single thing in my budget. But the next time I'll be actually budgeting out my paychecks and doing like just an overview of the spending for the month. So I have different videos coming out soon. So once again, thank you so much for watching, and like I said, please leave a comment, like, and subscribe. Have a good one. Bye.